Welcome to the Time Management Workshop for Successful Selling. Now, at the end of each module, you're going to find that there are some multiple choice questions to see if you've retained the most important parts of the most important information that's discussed in that particular module. This course will provide you with appropriate strategies to increase personal and professional productivity, as well as to learn how to work smarter, not harder. Exceptional time management skills have a powerful effect on shaping an organized, successful business. And if you're thinking, oh, this is for businesses, and maybe this isn't for me, I'm just in sales. If any part of your income is based on commission, then believe me, you are in business for yourself. So, let's stop wasting time and we'll get right to it. The practice of time management requires focus and conscious planning to help win back the control of your busy day. You'll be able to reach sales targets or quotas, and you'll conquer your personal financial goals. Challenges and interruptions are often presented in the workplace, and that can affect our ability to make optimal use of our time. However, with the help of prioritization, goal setting, and appropriate organization of your mindset and space that's around you, you will be able to overcome any time management barriers. So, research has consistently demonstrated that when clear goals are associated with learning occurs more easily and much more rapidly. And with that in mind, let's review our goals for today. Okay, at the end of this workshop, the practice of time management requires focus and you should be able to plan and prioritize each day's activities in a much more efficient and much more productive manner. You're going to be able to overcome procrastination quickly and easily. You'll handle unexpected barriers and distractions. You'll organize your workspace and workflow to make better use of your time. You're going to be able to delegate much more efficiently. You're going to use rituals to make your life run smoother. And you're going to plan meetings appropriately and effectively, and you're going to decide whether you should be attending these meetings or not. Okay. Now, Benjamin Franklin was credited with many wise sayings. When it came to being effective in managing time, his quote, "Never leave till tomorrow what you can do today," was never more appropriate. Discovering your personal productivity rhythm has a powerful effect on how you can maximize your daily workload and improve your overall time management. Your productivity rhythm will measure how and when and where you are the most productive. You can use these cycles to your advantage for making the most of your time. Determining your peaks in levels of energy and focus will be able to help you make better choices throughout your busy workday, as well as keep you on track of what you need to get done. In order to effectively find your productivity rhythm, it's first important that you take the time to invest in yourself and your current habits. Now, you know that your energy levels fluctuate throughout the span of a workday. It's highly beneficial to prioritize your tasks based on these energy levels. These patterns are connected to the ability to use your brain power and think clearly. I mean, the terms morning people or night owls are often used to describe one's most productive hours. Patterns of energy levels will differ for each individual based on various factors, including what your diet is, how you sleep, or whatever emotional stress you may be under. Once you determine your peak performance times, you can better schedule your daily tasks. Now, it's important to match the work that is of highest priority to your peak performance times. If you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then that's the time that you should be doing your highest priority work. Likewise, if you need a nap at 11 o'clock in the morning, well, you may not be able to nap at work, but assign the lesser important ones for when your energy is a little lower. Okay. Most productive individuals are those who are well balanced. Work-life balance includes prioritizing the demands in one's personal life at home as well as the demands in the workplace. Now, this doesn't mean that you need an equal balance of time between work and home, but rather prioritizing what is important during that time. Work time should be dedicated to tasks that are essential for your career, whereas home time should be dedicated to family time or personal time. When you're on your personal time, you really shouldn't be doing work time. So, be respectful of your time. A poor work-life balance will often lead to, working longer hours, increased responsibilities, and a greater chance of experiencing burnout. Practicing good time management does not mean that you are endlessly working around the clock to meet a deadline. Those people who are the most efficient with their time will understand the importance of incorporating breaks into their schedule. Taking breaks will help you to increase your level of concentration, as well as avoiding that burnout. In fact, breaks will allow you to get more done throughout the day and remain in your productivity rhythm. The most effective breaks are those that happen away from your workspace, such as taking a walk, meditating, or just going outside and sitting in some fresh air. Find something that works for you to ensure that you get time to relax. The key is to detach from your desk and reset that mental energy of yours. Skipping lunch breaks to complete extra work will only decrease your performance levels and increase your chances of making mistakes. Taking the time to care for your mind and body will have positive effects on the workplace achievements. Now, a common misconception of effective time management is the skill of multitasking, and multitasking is the act of carrying out two or more tasks simultaneously. However, this might seem like a sufficient way to conquer that to-do list. It's actually harmful to your productivity rhythm and leads to a significant loss of value time. Multitasking and good time management they oppose each other. Performing multiple activities all at once will cause you to stress more, and that means you perform poorly, and that increases your chances of burnout. Our brains are not designed to handle multiple assignments at once, such as answering emails while you're in an important phone call. It is a major advantage to devote all of your energy into one task at a time. When you dedicate your time and you focus on one task at a time, you will generate a better outcome for that task. So organize your time such that each task will receive your full energy, rather than sharing this energy on various projects. Time batching. Time batching is a great productivity system to improve focus and build structure into those daily tasks. It's different from multitasking because this approach involves grouping similar tasks together and organizing dedicated time periods to complete these tasks without interruptions. Time batching will provide concentration without breaking your workflow, and it will eliminate that multitasking. The practice of time batching is advantageous for everyone. Whether you have difficulty focusing on a task, you've got many disturbances in your workplace, maybe you just become easily distracted, or are you just simply looking to have a productive day? Time batching is a simple process to implement. To begin, start by establishing your to-do list. And with this list, determine which tasks are related to one another and then batch them together in your schedule. Think about which task would be realistic to do right after another. It's important to remember that the time frames for these tasks should be realistic, and if necessary, longer projects can be divided into separate batching groups, and that allows for renewal breaks or fresh air. I'll give you a real-life situation of how this works. Molly was always working endlessly around the clock to meet her sales quotas. She would spend her lunch hours at her desk, using one hand to type on her computer and the other hand to eat her food. And in her mind, she was optimizing her time by multitasking. Now, Molly's co-worker, Jill, asked her to join her for a walk at lunchtime, and Molly declined the offer. She was far too overwhelmed with piles of work and couldn't even think about going outside. But she wondered how Jill always felt so energetic and had time to take these breaks. Now, Jill could see that she could see the stress on Molly's face and said, "Listen, Molly, fresh air is going to do you some good. Come join me." Jill explained that breaks away from her desk will help her reset her mental energy and get back on track. So Molly did agree to join Jill for some fresh air, and when she arrived back at her desk, she could feel a big difference in her energy level, and she was ready to conquer the afternoon and keep in touch with all those clients. Molly and Jill, they made a plan to continue this lunchtime routine. Now, the next few screens are going to be questions. After each question, or after each screen starts, I'm going to give you 8 seconds to answer the question, and then I will give you the right answer. Now, this is where you have to be honest with yourself and re-listen to those parts that you get wrong, okay? So, Module 1, review questions. First question, what does your productivity rhythm measure? Is it A, how you are the most productive, B, when you are the most productive, C, where you are the most productive, or D, all of the above? The answer is D. Your productivity rhythm will measure how, when, and where you are the most productive. Question 2. Energy levels fluctuate throughout the span of a workday. True or false? The answer is A, true. Question 3. Why is it important to determine your peak performance times? Is it A, it's not important to determine your peak performance times? B, you can better schedule your tasks? C, you will be able to determine which tasks you do not want to do? Or D, none of the above? It is B. It is important to determine your peak performance time. Question 4. What does it mean to have a good work-life balance? Is it A, spending an equal amount of time between work and home? B, working longer hours to get more done? C, prioritizing the demands in the workplace over the demands of personal life at home? Or D, prioritizing the demands in one's personal life at home as well as the demands in the workplace? The answer is D. Question number 5. What is time batching? Is it A, grouping similar tasks together? B, a term that is interchangeable with multitasking? C, an approach that involves leaving things for the last minute? Or D, wasting time? The answer is A. Time batching involves grouping similar tasks together and organizing dedicated time periods to complete these tasks. Question 6. Practicing good time management means you're endlessly working around the clock. A, true, B, false? The answer is B, false. Practicing good time management does not mean that you are endlessly working. Number 7, how are the most effective breaks spent? Is it A, by walking, B, by meditating, C, sitting in fresh air, or D, all of the above? Obviously, it's D. The most effective breaks are those that happen away from your workspace. Question 8. What is the typical outcome of multitasking? Is it A, stress, B, poor performance, C, burnout, or D, all of the above? So for Module 1, I'm going to leave you with this thought. Time is the only asset that you really, truly have. The bad news is that time flies. The good news is you are the pilot. Welcome to Successful Selling Time Management. Take control of your most valuable asset, Module 2. I touched on this briefly in the first module, but goal setting is critical to effective time management strategies. Essentially, goal setting is a fundamental key to success. By envisioning a prosperous future with specific goals in mind, you will be able to increase the efficiency of your time that you use to get there. Now, having goals will keep you accountable for your work and help you to focus on what is truly important. Despite being such an important life skill, there are so many people who never learn how to properly set goals. The skill of goal setting can be used in every area of your life, including financial, physical, personal development, relationships, even spiritual. And if you want to take back control of your time and better manage your days, start by focusing on what you are striving to achieve. The future is a direct result of what you do right now. When it comes to setting attainable goals, it is best to set SMART goals. Now, SMART, S-M-A-R-T, is a convenient acronym for the set of criteria that a goal must have in order for it to be accomplished by the goal achiever. This strategy will help you focus your attention on what's important and set a clear, definite finish line. Now, obviously, a positive attitude is also beneficial when you're planning your goals. So, S, specific. In order for you to achieve a goal, you must be very clear about exactly what you want. This is the portion of it that defines your goal in clear and concise terms, why it needs to be accomplished, what's being accomplished, and how you will accomplish it. It is critical that you are capable to understand your objective through any stage of the process. Now, often creating a list of benefits that the accomplishment of your goal will bring to your life will give your mind, your subconscious mind, a compelling reason to pursue that goal. Measurable. It is crucial for goal achievements that you are able to track the progress towards your goal. That's why all goals need some form of objective measuring system so you can stay on track and become motivated. If it's a long project at hand, then milestones are valuable to have. Achievable. Setting big goals is great, but setting unrealistic goals will just demotivate you. A good goal is one that is challenging, but is not so unrealistic that you have virtually no chance of achievement. Goals should be set with the availability of knowledge, time, and resources in mind. Relevant. It is so important to set goals that are relevant to the broader picture. Prior to setting your goals, it's beneficial to sit down and define your core values. Is making $200,000 a year worth losing your family? Goals should be planned with the intention of advancement and aligned with the direction that you wish your career and life to follow. And timed. Without setting deadlines for your goals, you have no real compelling reason or motivation to start working on them. By setting a deadline, your subconscious mind begins to work on that goal night and day to bring you closer to achievement. Visualizing your goal will help you create the desire to materialize it into your life. It allows you to envision the possibility of achieving these goals, and it'll boost your sense of fulfillment. Visualization is a highly effective motivating technique that will reinforce your drive to complete the tasks and avoid delay. To visualize your goals, start by forming an image in your head of a prosperous outcome of your impending task, the sale that you've been trying to get, how good it'll feel to close it. Include your senses through the visualization process to better imagine the accomplishment. Perhaps play your most motivating song so that when you hear that song, it triggers the visualization. What emotions do is that they help you see the benefit. Another great visualization tool is a vision board. Simply find a magazine, cut out the pictures that resonate with the goal that you want to achieve, glue them onto a piece of poster board, and place that board somewhere that you can view it several times a day. Another very effective way is to take a post-it note and put it on the mirror. And every morning you'll see it, and every night you'll see it. This will serve as a strong motivator to maintain focus on what you are aiming to achieve. Goals are designed to help you reach a future of success by providing focus and direction. It's fundamental to include goals while you're planning projects and advancing your work performance. However, not every goal will be an effective goal. When establishing your goals, it is important that they convey the power of the 4 P's, being personal, positive, possible, and prioritized. Personal. Goals must be personal in order to be the most effective. They must reflect your own dreams, your own values, and not those of friends or family or the media. When crafting your personal goal statement, always use the word I in the sentence to brand it as your own. This will place the responsibility solely on you, ensuring that your goals are not dependent on others. When your goals are personal, you'll be more motivated to succeed, and you'll take greater pride in your accomplishments. They have to be positive. When declaring your goals, it is critical to focus on the way you word your goals. Using positive statements will allow you to focus on what you truly want to achieve, and ultimately improve your chances for reaching success. For example, rather than saying, I will no longer work at this job that is so boring, try phrasing it in a positive way, such as, I will work at a job where I can present my full potential each day. Focusing on the positive will help you to improve your outlook. Possible. Be sure to consider what's possible and within your control. When you set goals that are impossible to reach, you are simply inciting disappointment and failure. It has to be possible to do it within your control. It's important to be honest with yourself, and when you're assessing your talents and abilities, you got to be honest with yourself. There are certain goals that will require continued education, or maybe special skills that you may not be qualified for right now. So focus on those that are possible to achieve. Prioritized. Achieving challenging goals requires a lot of mental energy, and instead of exhausting yourself by focusing on several goals at once, invest your mental focus on one goal, the most important goal. That's right now. When you are prioritizing, choose a goal that will have the greatest impact on your life compared to how long it will take to achieve. A large part of your goal setting is not just identifying what you want, but also identifying what you must give up in your life in order to get it. I have suggested to many of my students that a productivity journal is a valuable tool to assist you in conquering your goals. This journal will include the tasks and the associated steps that you need to take throughout the day to ensure that your goal is reached. Now, to prepare a productivity journal, start by labeling a spiral notebook as your personal productivity journal or your professional productivity journal. You may want to have 2 journals, one for your sales goals and one for your personal goals. Label each page with the day and the date and what needs to be done that particular day. And then next, prioritize each task in order of importance. Okay? Highlight the top 3 items and focus on those first. Cross off the items as you complete them, and items that are not completed should carry over to the next page. Now, this module I'm excited about because when you write down your tasks or your goals the night before, your subconscious mind focuses on that plan while you sleep. By planning the night before, you will also start fresh and focused on the most important tasks for the day. Of course, you will want to review your list in the morning, but you still have a head start on your day. Always have your productivity journal with you during the day to avoid becoming sidetracked, because that happens real easy. Crossing off completed tasks will give your subconscious mind a tremendous amount of satisfaction. This will also help to maintain your motivation to complete the remaining items on your action list. If you find yourself moving uncompleted tasks over into the following day and the day after that, then you need to ask yourself, why is that task on your list in the first place, and what value does it have in your life? If you postpone a task 3 times, it does not belong on your action list. So here's a practical illustration of what I've been talking about. Margaret and Rachel were reviewing their mid-year profit portfolio in June and realized, unfortunately, that they weren't making enough money. Well, Rachel then had the brilliant idea of using the SMART way to come up with an achievable goal. Margaret and Rachel sat down and thought of a specific goal they wanted to reach. And after lots of deliberation, they decided they wanted to increase their revenue by 10%. Now, in order to keep their goal measurable, they were going to measure their progress monthly. This would make sure that their goal was attainable by the end of the year. It would keep their goal relevant as well. The two decided to make the deadline for their goal in December to keep it timed. After using the SMART way to create the goal, Margaret and Rachel were a lot more confident in the ability of their business to stay productive and make more money. So for Module 2, here are the review questions, and we're going to do it a little differently than we did in Module 1. I'm going to read the question, give you the options, and then I'm going to ask you to pause it. Just pause, give some thought to it, and when you continue playing, you'll hear the answer. So, Module 2, Question 1. Which is not one of the 4 P's of goal setting? A, positive, B, people, C, personal, or D, possible? The 4 P's of goal setting are personal, positive, possible, and prioritized. So the answer is B, people is not part of it. Question 2. In the SMART, S-A-M-A-R-T acronym, what does the T stand for? Is it A, together, B, two, C, tedious, or D, timed? Pause the screen. The answer is D. The T in the SMART acronym stands for timed. Question 3. When prioritizing your goals, it is better to focus on several tasks at once. The answer is B. When prioritizing your goals, it is better to focus on one goal, the most important goal right now. Question 4. In the SMART acronym, what does the M stand for? Is it A, multiple, B, missing, C, meaningless, or D, measurable? Pause your screen. The answer is D. The M in the SMART acronym stands for measurable. Question 5. In which areas of your life can you use goal setting? A, financial, B, physical, C, spiritual, or D, all of the above? Pause your screen. The answer is D. You can use goal setting in many areas of your life, including all the above. Question 6. You can use goal setting in many areas of your life, including financial, physical, and spiritual. Is that A, the dreams and values of the media, B, the dreams and values of your friends, C, your dreams and values, or D, all of the above? Pause your screen. The answer is C. Your goals should reflect your dreams, your values. Question 7. Which of these is crucial for goal achievement? A, creating vague goals, B, setting unrealistic goals. C. Creating a goal that does not have a deadline. Or D. Track your progress toward your goal. Pause your screen. D. Tracking your progress toward your goal is crucial for goal achievement. Question 8. When you're prioritizing, which goal should you choose? A. Choose a goal that identifies only what you want. B. Choose a goal that will have the greatest impact on your life. C. Choose a goal based on how long it would take to achieve it. Or D. Spread yourself thin by focusing on several goals at once. Pause your screen. The answer is B. When prioritizing, choose a goal that will have the greatest impact on your life. Question 9. What is the best one of the visualization tools? A. A bar graph. B. A powerful presentation. C. A vision board. Or D. A list of goals. Pause your screen. The answer is C. A vision board is one of the very best visualization tools. Question 10. It is best to keep a separate journal for work and for your personal life. Is the answer A, true, or B, false? Pause your screen. The answer is A, true. It really is best to keep a separate journal for your work and another one for your personal life. This concludes Module 2. Welcome to Module 3, Successful Selling Time Management. Take control of your most valuable asset, time. Have you noticed that time management is about more than just managing our time? It's about managing ourselves in relation to time. In order to manage ourselves in relation to time, it is necessary to prioritize. And prioritization will enable you to give full attention and focus on the tasks that are of the highest importance, rather than those that will cause us to waste time. It may often be overwhelming to decide upon which activities that deserve our attention. However, there are various methods to find the best way to make the maximum use of your time. The 80-20 rule, that's also known as Pareto's principle, states that 80% of your results will come from just 20% of your actions. And for most people, it really comes down to analyzing what you are spending your time on. The key to highly effective individuals is placing focus on the efforts that will produce the greatest results. Across the board, you're going to find that the 80-20 principle may be applied to almost every single situation. Essentially, this principle will alter the way you set your goals, as well as prioritize your tasks to help you manage your time. I can tell you that great time management involves being effective as well as efficient. Managing your time effectively and achieving the things that you want to achieve means you are spending your time on things that are important and not just urgent. To do this, you need to distinguish clearly between what is urgent and what is important. Important, these activities lead to achieving your goals and have the greatest impact on your life. Urgent, these activities demand immediate attention, but are often associated with somebody else's goals rather than your own. The important urgent matrix, also known as the Eisenhower principle, is a powerful way of organizing tasks based on priorities. It's a simple and versatile system that allows you to overcome the natural tendency to focus on urgent activities so that you can have time to focus on what's truly important. So, urgent and important activities in this area relate to dealing with critical issues as they arise and meeting significant commitments. Perform those duties right now. Important but not urgent. These success-oriented tasks are critical to achieving goals. Plan to do these tasks next. Urgent but not important. These chores do not move you forward toward your goals. You manage by delaying them, cutting them short, and rejecting requests from others. Postpone these chores. and not urgent and not important, well, these are trivial interruptions. Just a distraction, and they've got to be avoided. Now, be careful not to mislabel things like time with family and recreational activities as not important. Your ability to say no is one of the most powerful time management tools you've got. At times, requests from others may be important and need immediate attention. However, often these requests conflict with our values and take time away from working toward your goals. Even if it is something we would like to do but simply don't have the time for, it can be very difficult to say no. One approach in dealing with these types of interruptions is to use a positive no, which comes in several forms. Say no followed by an honest explanation such as, I'm uncomfortable doing that because, or say no and then briefly clarify your reasoning without making excuses. This helps the listener to better understand your position. For example, I can't right now because I have another project that's due by 5 p.m. today. Or say no and then give an alternative. For example, I don't have time today, but I could schedule it in for tomorrow morning. Emphatically repeat the request in your own words and then say no. For example, I understand that you need to have this paperwork filed, but Bob, I just will not be able to do it for you. You could say yes, give your reason for not doing it, and provide an alternative solution. For example, yes, I would love to help you by filing this paperwork, but I don't have time until tomorrow morning. Provide an assertive refusal and repeat it no matter what the person says. This approach may be the most appropriate with aggressive or manipulative people who can be an effective strategy to control your emotions. For example, I understand how you feel, but I will not or cannot do this task for you. Remember to stay focused and not become sidetracked into responding to other people's issues. Sometimes large projects or high quotas can be so overwhelming it is difficult to plan to start them. This time management technique is ideal for taking on these jobs. Simply break down the project into manageable chunks, block off time to work on the project, and then tackle it with single-minded focus. So, chunk. Break large tasks, big quotas, into specific tasks that can be completed in less than 15 minutes. Block. Rather than scheduling the entire project all at once, block out set times to complete these specific chunks as early in the day as possible. And that should allow you to ignore most interruptions and focus on just this particular task. Tackle. Now, tackle the specific task, focusing only on this task, whether it's going out to visit clients or making phone calls, rather than the whole project, the whole quota as a whole. Okay, once you've completed it, you're going to feel a great sense of accomplishment from making progress on your tasks and reaching your quota. We've all heard the saying, ready, aim, fire. Often in management planning, it's better to think ready, fire, aim instead. This is because most people aim for the target and then they keep aiming at the target, but they never seem to fire. They get so caught up in the planning and the little details that they just fail to take action. This is just another form of procrastination, which we're going to discuss in a moment. Better to take a shot and see how close you were to the target. When you say ready, do not overplan each of your actions. By the time you fire, the target may have moved. And when you say fire, remember the 80-20 rule and just take action. Even if you don't hit the bullseye, you'll probably still hit the target. Aim. Make new plans based on new information. Readjust your aim based on where you hit the target. So here's your practical illustration. Elizabeth was feeling overwhelmed by the huge pile of paperwork scattered on her desk. Her co-worker, Annabelle, told her to sit down and to prioritize her work by making 2 piles of paperwork. The pile labeled important included items that directly impacted Elizabeth's work performance. The pile labeled urgent included items that needed attention immediately, but however did not involve Elizabeth directly. So, from these piles, Annabelle told her to create 4 others in order of importance. First, urgent and important, things that not only needed immediate attention, but had to do directly with Elizabeth. Important, but not urgent. These things impacted Elizabeth directly, but they did not need immediate attention. Urgent, but not important. Well, that was paperwork that was most likely given to Elizabeth by others. And not urgent and not important was more of a distraction than anything else. So, thanks to Annabelle's organization advice, Elizabeth knew she would be able to finish her work by the end of the day. So, Module 4, review questions. At the end of each question, please pause your screen, figure out which answer is right or wrong, and then when you restart, the answer will be there for you. So, question number 1. The 80-20 rule states that 80% of your blank comes from only 20% of your blank. Is it A, errors and mistakes, B, results and actions, C, time and actions, D, results and friends? Pause your screen. The 80-20 rule states that 80% of your results comes from just 20% of your actions. Question number 2. A deadline to complete a sales quota that's due by the end of next month can be considered urgent and important on the urgent/important matrix. Is that true, A, or B, false? Pause your screen. It's B. A report that's due next month or a sales quota that's got to be reached by next month can be considered important, but not urgent on the urgent-important matrix. So question 3. Where would having lunch with a coworker fall on the important/urgent matrix? Would it be A, urgent and important, B, important but not urgent, C, urgent but not important, or D, not urgent and not important? Pause your screen. The answer is D, not urgent and not important. If it steps between you and reaching your sales goals, then it's not urgent and it's not important. Question 4. A great tool in being more assertive is to use a blank no when interrupted. Is it A, negative, B, positive, C, manual, D, timely? Pause your screen. The answer is B. A great tool in being more assertive is to use a positive no when being interrupted. Question 5. Which of these is the best description of what time management is about? Is it A, keeping your strategies that help you manage time the same? B, continuing habits and activities that waste our time? C, managing your time? Or D, managing yourself in relation to time? Pause your screen. The answer is D. Time management is about managing ourselves in relation to time. Question 6. What is the 80-20 rule also known as? Is it A, the urgent/important matrix, or B, Pareto's principle? Pause your screen. The answer is B. The 80-20 rule is also known as Pareto's principle. Question 7. What activities demand immediate attention but are often associated with someone else's goals rather than our own? Is it A, not important, B, not urgent, C, important, or D, urgent? Pause your screen. The answer is D. Urgent activities are those that demand immediate attention, but are often associated with someone else's goals rather than your own. Question 8. What is a powerful way of organizing tasks based on priorities? Is it A, business logic, B, the Z notation, C, Pareto's principle, or D, urgent/important matrix? Pause your screen. The answer is D. The urgent important matrix is a powerful way of organizing tasks based on priorities. Question 9. Which of these is not an example of a positive no? A. I am uncomfortable doing that because. B. I don't have time to do that today, but I can schedule it in today. C. I can't right now because I have another project that is due by 5 o'clock today. Or D. I understand that you need to have this paperwork filed immediately, but I can't file it for you. Pause your screen. The answer is B. I don't have time to do that today, but I can schedule it today. It is not an example of a positive no. Question 10. What is the positive no most appropriate for? Is it A, aggressive people, B, manipulative people, C, an effective strategy to control your emotions, or D, all of the above? Pause your screen. The answer is D. The positive no is more appropriate for aggressive people, people who want to manipulate you, and it is an effective strategy to control your emotions. This is the end of Module 3, and I'll leave you with a quote from Thomas Jefferson. I am a great believer in luck, and the harder I work, the more I have of it. Hi, and welcome to Module 4 of Successful Selling Time Management. Take control of your most valuable asset. There's only so much time in the day, and it's crucial to use that time adequately. Unfortunately, procrastination is a common habit that interrupts the ability to make the most out of your time. Procrastination is productivity's worst enemy. To procrastinate means to delay a task or even several tasks that should be a priority. Now, procrastinators do understand their responsibilities, yet actively choose to focus on less important tasks, perhaps more satisfying pastimes. The ability to overcome procrastination and tackle the important actions that have the biggest positive impact in your life is a hallmark of the most successful salespeople out there. Everyone knows that procrastination is a bad habit. It will slow down your ability to reach your goals and your full potential. In order to break the habit of procrastination, it is necessary to understand why we procrastinate. I mean, there are many reasons why we tend to procrastinate, including no clear deadline, inadequate resources available, like time, money, information, etc. Don't know where to begin, that the job feels overwhelming, there's no passion for what we're doing, and the biggest one is fear of failure or even fear of success. Your ability to select your most important task, as well as starting on that task, and get it done quickly and well, will probably have the biggest impact on your success than any other quality or skill you can develop. If you nurture the habit of setting clear priorities and getting important tasks done quickly, the majority of your time management issues will actually disappear. And here are some ways to get moving on those tough tasks. Delete it. Done. What are the consequences of not doing that task at all? Consider the 80-20 rule. Maybe it doesn't need to be done in the first place. Delegate it. If the task is important, ask yourself if it's really something that you are responsible for doing in the first place. Know your job description and ask if the task is part of your responsibilities. Can the task be given to someone else? Just do it now. Postponing an important task that needs to be done only creates feelings of anxiety and stress. Do it as early in the day as you can. Ask for advice. Asking for advice from a trusted mentor, supervisor, coach, or expert can give you some real insight on where to start and the steps for completing that project. Chop it up. Break large projects into milestones. When you have a huge sales quota, break it down, chop it up, and you'll find that these are becoming more actionable steps. Have a clear deadline. Assign yourself a deadline for projects, milestones, and write it down in that daily journal. Make your deadlines known to other people who will hold you accountable. And here's my favorite part. Give yourself a reward. Celebrate the completion of reaching that milestone and reward yourself for getting projects done on time, for meeting quotas on time. It will provide positive reinforcement and motivate you toward your next goal. Years ago, I was struggling and I was thinking about leaving the company I was with. Didn't want to. It seemed like everybody there was pretty successful, but I personally was struggling. And we were sitting outside having a coffee with my mentor, and as fate would have it, a frog was kind of leaping across the pavement. And he said, "See that?" He said, "If you eat a frog first thing in the morning, then you know there's nothing that will happen to you that could be possibly worse for the rest of the day." And I thought it was a silly thing to say, and it was a funny thing to say. And then years later, Brian Tracy, a really well-known author about self-help and business, wrote a book called Eat That Frog. As a matter of fact, I'm going to recommend that you look it up and read it. Procrastination is often the result of feeling overwhelmed. To take the STING out of feeling overwhelmed, follow these steps. S. Select one task to do at a time. T. Time yourself for no more than 1 hour. I. Ignore everything else during that hour. Put blinders on. Completely focus on that task. N. No breaks or interruptions should be permitted during that 1 hour. And here again is my favorite part. G. Give yourself a reward when the time is up. Now, in order to be the most productive, you need to establish a positive working environment, one that is conducive to getting your work done. This means eliminating any external workplace distractions that promote procrastination. And when I say workplace, that could be if you work from home as well. Simply put, procrastination will feed off of distractions. Many distractions can occur in a work environment, you know that, and that can be damaging to your daily schedule. Although workplace distractions are inevitable, there are ways to optimize your workspace that will reduce the effect of distractions. And the common examples of distractions are as follows. Office noise. If possible, it is best to shut your door to keep out office noise. An alternative to this is to wear headphones with either some white noise or personal music. Talkative coworkers and gossiping. Please avoid partaking in workplace gossip. Wearing headphones is a great signal that you are not up for a conversation. Try having a conversation with your coworkers about how these conversations affect your work. Smartphones. Oh my God, smartphones. Please put your phone on Do Not Disturb or put your phone somewhere else. Social media. Make it inaccessible by using website blockers. Email. Designate certain times to respond to your email. And hunger. Be sure to always have a healthy snack, some kind of healthy option at hand. Here's Module 4's practical illustration. Jacob had a big problem when it came to procrastination. His friend Brian was always on top of his game. So one day Jacob found that his boss had left Brian and him an incredibly large amount of paperwork to do and a very short amount of time to do it. And luckily for Jacob, Brian was there to get him back on track. Brian delegated half the work to Jacob and half to himself. Then he split it up into realistic goals that made the project seem less intimidating. And after removing the distractions, Jacob found that not only did he reach the goal on time, but he also had a lot less stress. And after the project was over and all that paperwork was done, Brian decided to treat both the coffee as a reward for the job well done. We're now going to do the review questions for Module 4. At the end of each question, please pause your screen, pick the right answer, and then when you reactivate your screen, you'll have the right answer there. So, question number 1. Which item is the reason that we generally procrastinate? Is it A, you're unsure where to begin? B, the task is overwhelming? C, there's no clear deadline? Or D, all of the above? Pause your screen. The answer is D. These are all the reasons why we procrastinate. Question 2. What habit will help you overcome procrastination? A, have a clear deadline. B, delay the task. C, make more plans. Or D, all of the above? Pause your screen. The answer is A. Having a clear deadline will help you overcome procrastination. Question 3. In the eat that frog analogy, what does the frog represent? Is it A, procrastination, B, a task that will have a great impact, C, ideas, or D, a task that will have low impact? Pause your screen. The answer is B. The frog represents a task that would have a great impact. Question 4. What is the definition of procrastination? Is it A, tackling the important actions that have the biggest positive impact in your life? B, the latest time or date by which something should be completed? C, delaying a task or even several tasks that should be a priority? Or D, D, to bury or drown beneath a huge mess? Pause your screen. The answer is C. Procrastination is defined by delaying a task or even several tasks all at once that should be a priority. Question 5. Which of these is not a reason for procrastination? A, inadequate resources available. B, fear of failure or success. C, the task feels overwhelming. Or D, you have a passion for doing the work. Pause your screen. The answer is D. You have a passion for doing the work. That is not a reason for procrastination. Which way to overcome procrastination can be defined as help from a trusted mentor, supervisor, coach, or expert can give you some great insight on where to start and the steps for completing your quota. A, delegate. B, delete it. C, do it now. Or D, ask for advice. Pause your screen. The answer is D, asking for advice to get help from a trusted mentor, supervisor, coach, or expert will certainly help. Number 7, the acronym STING can help when feeling overwhelmed. What does the G stand for? A, give yourself a reward. B, give up. C, go home when your task is completed. Or D, get it done. Pause your screen. The answer is A. The G in STING stands for giving yourself a reward. Number 8, to reduce the temptation of procrastination, each actionable step on your project should take no more than how many minutes to accomplish? A, 5, B, 15, C, 10, or D, 20? Pause your screen. The answer is B. Each step in a project should take no more than 15 minutes. Number 9, which of the following is a common workplace distraction? A, silence. B, an organized space. C, a written list of your goals. Or D, gossip. Pause your screen. The answer is D. A common workplace distraction is gossip. We'll finish Module 4 with a quote from Woody Hayes. The only thing, even in this world, is the number of hours in a day. The difference in winning or losing is what you do with those hours. In Module 5, Successful Selling Time Management, take control of your most valuable asset. Guys, in order to effectively manage your time and be productive each day, you must create an appropriate environment. Becoming organized is the initial step to staying organized. By eliminating clutter, setting up an effective filing system, be it on computer or on paper, gathering essential tools, managing workflow, you'll be well on your way to creating an effective workspace. Removing clutter is itself a time-consuming task, but a cluttered workspace significantly impairs your ability to find things, and you will get the time back that you've invested in cleaning up. Decluttering will allow you to reclaim your space as well as prioritize your items. Begin by determining which objects in your workspace hold value and are worth keeping. Never throw out important documents like tax receipts. Decluttering involves placing documents into appropriate files, both physically and online. An effective way to tidy up your workspace and help you retrieve materials quickly is to implement a filing system that includes 3 basic kinds of files. Working files, those are materials that are used frequently and needed close at hand. Reference files, that's information that you only use occasionally. Archival files, these are materials that are seldom retrieved but must be kept. For ease of retrieval, organize these files in the simplest way possible. For example, you could label files with a 1 or 2 word tag and arrange the files alphabetically. Once the clutter has been eliminated and all other materials have been filed, your workspace really should include only what is essential, such as computer, phone, standard office supplies. Everything else, except for what you're working on at the moment, can and should be filed where it can be retrieved when you need it. So now we know that workflow management is essential for optimizing and bringing order to a project. It ensures a structured set of activities and control over the flow of the work in front of you. Workplace management highlights focusing on one task at a time. Many time management experts agree that the most effective people act on an item the first time it is touched. Although difficult at first, that's a practice that can become habitual, and it's made so much easier with the 4 Ds. Do. If a task can be completed in 2 minutes or less, do it immediately. Delete. If the material is trash or junk, just delete it. Or if it's something that you might use later, file it and move on. Defer. If the task is one that can't be completed quickly and is not a high priority item, simply defer it. Delegate. If a task is not yours to do, then delegate it. The most efficient workspaces are those that have office supplies that are stocked and available at all times. Taking the time to neatly prepare your office supplies will save you the time and frustration from frantically searching for an item when it's needed, or wasting the time to run to the store to get it. Staying organized can be one of the biggest challenges for many people. The use of labels or colored coded systems in the workplace is a great organizing tool. It provides clarity for those people that are using that space. Items such as shelves and baskets and bins and drawers can all be labeled. Labels and color coding can increase your productivity by knowing where the items are at all times rather than wasting time searching through the clutter. As well, these systems will better your chances for staying organized. Once you've decluttered your workspace, it's time to tackle another space that regularly becomes cluttered: your email inbox. A cluttered inbox can become overwhelming as well as frustrating. Having a proper system in place will save you the time that is often wasted lost in email clutter. Not only will this maximize your email time, but it will optimize the time for any other obligations away from your email, like other routine tasks such as returning phone calls, handling mail, checking voicemail. Email is best handled in batches at regularly scheduled times of the day. Ask your email contacts to use specific subject lines and make sure to use them yourself. This will help you to determine whether your incoming mail is business or personal, urgent or trivial. Once you know the subject of the message, open and read urgent emails and respond accordingly. Non-urgent emails, like jokes, can be read later. Delete advertising-related email that you have no interest in or which you consider spam. Use your email system to its fullest potential. Create folders for different topics. Create folders for different senders. Create folders for different customers. Most email systems also allow you to create folders and add keywords or categories to these messages, which makes information retrieval much easier and faster. Many email programs allow you to create rules that automatically move messages to the appropriate folder. This can help you follow your email plan. Finally, don't forget to delete emails from your trash can and junk folder on a very regular basis. To manage all the things that you have to do, it's important to organize your reminders into a calendar that can be reviewed regularly. A calendar, preferably electronic, is the obvious place to record meetings, appointments, and due dates. Calendars allow you to design your day and dedicate your time to the important tasks first. If you've got multiple responsibilities, an annual calendar organized by areas of responsibility, like budget, personnel, schedule, planning, these may be especially valuable. For each of these areas, you can list the major responsibilities month by month and thereby see at a glance what tasks must be completed in a given month of the year. Important appointments should be recorded immediately. It is beneficial if your calendar includes additional information about your task or quota or some event, perhaps a deadline or location where you have to meet somebody, or even more important, brief notes about your customers. A calendar is one of the most important tools you can use to manage your time effectively and stay very organized. Here is your practical illustration. Kevin was a very disorganized person. His desk was covered with papers and office supplies, and he even had a half-eaten donut that he hadn't finished for breakfast in there. It didn't take him long to realize that his work was beginning to suffer. So Kevin decided to make a much needed change. He asked his colleague, Rob, if he had any advice. And the first piece of advice was to declutter his workspace. Any trash was tossed away, all the files were put in the proper place, and after that, they made sure it wouldn't happen again by organizing Kevin's work schedule, his calendar, by tracking his projects, his assignments, his customer callbacks. Kevin could better prepare for them, and he wouldn't get overwhelmed again. Now that Kevin is organized, he's actually working more easily, more effectively, and he's making more sales. So, Module 5, review questions. At the end of each slide, pause your screen, think of the answer, and then when you restart, the answer will be there for you. So, question 1. Which is not part of a basic filing system? A, working files, B, reference files, C, do-it-yourself files, or D, archival files. Pause your screen. The answer is C. The three basic kinds of files are reference, archival, and working files. Question 2. In managing workflow, what are the 4 Ds? A. Do, done, deliver, double. B. Do, decide, defer, detour. C. Do, done, doubt, or decide. D. Do, delete, defer, delegate. Pause your screen. The answer is D. The 4 Ds for managing workflow are do, delete, defer, and delegate. Question 3. One of the best ways to deal with email is to set up rules to filter emails to certain folders. Is the answer A, true, or B, false? Pause your screen. The answer is A. It is true that one of the best ways to deal with email is to set up rules to filter emails to certain folders. Number 4. Which of the following is a great tool for organizing office supplies? Is it A, one bin for everything? B, the use of labels on bins, baskets, and shelves? C, keeping one main file for all documents? Or D, having a designated person that can retrieve office supplies? Pause your screen. The answer is B. The use of labels on everything is a great tool for organizing office supplies. Number 5. Which of these does not help to create an effective workspace? A. Setting up an effective file system. B. Gathering essential tools. C. Managing workflows. Or D. Working around clutter. Pause your screen. The answer is D. Working around clutter is not helpful for creating an effective workspace. Number 6. What types of files are used for materials that are used frequently and needed close at hand? A. DIY files. B. Reference files. C. Working files. Or D. Archival files. Pause your screen. The answer is C. Working files are used for materials that are used frequently and needed to be close at hand. Number 7. A calendar is not beneficial if it is electronic. Is that A, true, or B, false? Pause your screen. B, false. A calendar, whether it's paper or electronic, is more than beneficial. So, number 8. If a job is not yours to do, how should you respond? A, do it. B, delete it. C, defer it. Or D, delegate it. Pause your screen. The answer is D. If the job is not yours to do, you can respond by delegating that task. Number 9. Which of these is good advice for maximizing your email time? A, email is best handled constantly throughout the day. B, once you know the subject of the message, open and read urgent emails and non-urgent emails, the jokes, and respond accordingly. C, move all email to your junk or trash can when finished. Or D, ask your email contacts to use specific subject lines and make sure you use them yourself. Pause your screen. The answer is D. Good advice for maximizing your email time is to ask your email contacts to use specific subject lines and make sure you use them yourself. Question 10. For people with multiple responsibilities, what type of calendar might be especially valuable? A, a productivity journal. B, a day-by-day calendar. C, a filing calendar. Or D, an annual calendar organized by areas of responsibility. Pause your screen. D, an annual calendar that's organized by areas of responsibility is very valuable for people who have multiple responsibilities. And we'll end Module 5 on a quote from Theodore Roosevelt. The best executive is the one who has enough sense to pick good men to do what he wants done, and the self-restraint enough to keep from meddling with them while they do it. Welcome to Module 6 of Successful Selling, Time Management. Take control of your most valuable asset. Now, if you work on your own, there's only so much you can get done, no matter how hard you work. Everyone needs help and support, and there is no shame in accepting your limitations and asking for assistance. One of the most common ways of overcoming this limitation is to learn how to delegate your work to other people. If you do this well, you can quickly build a strong and very successful team of people. At first sight, delegation can feel like more hassle than it's worth. But by delegating effectively, you can greatly expand the amount of work you can deliver. And when you arrange the workload so that you are working on the tasks that have the highest priority for you, and other people are working on meaningful and challenging assignments, you have a recipe for success. Remember to delegate effectively. Choose the right task to delegate, identify the right people to delegate those tasks to, and delegate it in the right way. There's a lot to this, but you'll achieve so much more once you're delegating effectively. Delegation allows you to make the best use of your time and skills, and it helps other people in the team grow and develop to reach their full potential within the organization. Delegation is a win-win situation for all involved, but only when it's done correctly. Keep these criteria in mind when deciding if a task should be delegated. The task should provide an opportunity for growth of another person's skills. Weigh the effort to properly train another person against how often the task will reoccur. Delegating certain critical tasks may jeopardize the success of your project. Manage the task, such as performance reviews, and tasks specifically assigned to you should not be delegated. Now, if you're a business owner, you already know the importance of delegating. Things get done faster when you farm out some of your work, whether it's to another employee, excuse me, or if it's to an outsource like Fiverr or Upwork. You understand that you can't do everything, or hopefully you understand you can't do everything. But if you're a salesperson and you're wondering, why is delegation important to me? Well, let me give you an example. Maybe your job is to book appointments and then go see those people, and you need some research on them before you see them. If you spent an hour on the phone and you could make 20 phone calls, or you can spend 10 minutes on the phone and spend 50 minutes doing some research, you're going to have a whole lot less appointments. Delegate the research, if that's possible, to somebody else. That's why I'm talking about delegation here right now. So, excuse me, once you've decided to delegate a task, think about the possible candidates for accepting that task. Things to think about include what experience, what knowledge, what skills, what attitude does that person already have? What training or assistance might they need? Do you have the time and resources to provide any training if it's needed? What is that individual's preferred work style? Do they work well on their own, or do they require more support and more motivation? And how independent are they? If they need a lot of work, then maybe, or a lot of training, then maybe it's faster to do it yourself. You have to consider all these things. What do they want from the job? What are their long-term goals? What is the current workload that they have? Does the person have time to take on more work? Will you delegating this task require a reshuffling of other responsibilities and workloads? So when you first start to delegate to someone, you may notice that they take longer than you do to complete that task. Well, this is because you're an expert in the field, and the person you delegated it to is still learning. You have to be patient. If you've chosen the right person to delegate it to, and you are delegating correctly, you will find they quickly become competent and reliable. Also, try to delegate to the lowest possible organizational level. The people who are closest to the work are best suited for the task because they have the most intimate knowledge of the detail of your everyday work. This also increases the workplace efficiency and helps contribute to their personal development. Now, Please understand, delegation doesn't have to be all or nothing. There are several different levels of delegation, each with different levels of delegate independence and delegator supervision. People often move through these spheres during the delegation process. Your goal should be to get the delegate to one of the outer three spheres, depending on the task being performed. Make sure you match the amount of responsibility with the amount of authority. Understand that you can delegate some responsibility, but you can't delegate away ultimate accountability. That buck stops with you. When you delegate a task, the delegate must be made aware of relevant information in order for them to be able to successfully execute the task. It's important to take the time to explain why they were chosen for the job, what's expected from them during the job, and the goals that you have for that particular project. They should also have a clear understanding of the timelines and deadlines, as well as the resources on which they can draw. It's best to work together to develop a schedule for progress updates and milestones. You're going to want to make sure that the team member knows that, well, you want to know if there are any problems occurring and if you're available for any questions or guidance that they need as the work progresses. We all know that as managers, we shouldn't micromanage. However, this doesn't mean we must abdicate control altogether. In delegating effectively, we have to find that really difficult, challenging balance between giving enough space for people to use their abilities while still monitoring and supporting closely enough to ensure that the job is done correctly and effectively. One way to encourage growth is to ask for recommended solutions when the delegate comes to you with a problem, and then help them explore those solutions and reach a proper decision. When the job is done, you have to set enough time aside to thoroughly review any delegated work that was delivered to you. If possible, only accept good quality, fully complete work, because if you accept work that you are not satisfied with, your team member does not learn to do the job properly. Worse than that, you accept a new project that you probably need to finish yourself. Not only does this overload you, it means that you don't have time to do your own job properly. So, of course, when good work is delivered to you, make sure to recognize and reward that effort. As a leader, you should get in the practice of complimenting members of your team every time you are impressed by what they've done. Excuse me. This effort on your part will go a long way to building their self-confidence, their efficiency, and their likability in working with you. Here is this module's practical illustration. Mary sat at her computer, unable to start the project that Dave had delegated to her. He said that he wanted the chart to show only the sales numbers for this quarter, but did he mean just his sales numbers or the sales numbers for all of the staff? Mary was sitting with her email open, weighing the pros and cons of whether or not to send him a message, when a new message popped into her inbox. It was from Dave. Hi Mary, I just wanted to let you know I'm available to let you ask any questions or guidance that you may need concerning the project. Thanks, Dave. Mary was relieved. She wrote back, Hi Dave, boy, was I glad to see this message. I was just about to ask you. Dave clarified what he needed for the project, and Mary delivered an excellent job. So, here are the review questions for Module 6. As before, I will ask the question, and then please pause your screen to figure out the right answer, and when you restart your screen, the right answer will be there for you. So, question 1. You should keep this in mind when deciding if a task should be delegated. A. Is the task an opportunity for the growth of another person? B. Will delegating a task jeopardize any success? C. Weigh the effort to properly train another person against how often the task will reoccur. Or D. All of the above. Pause your screen. The answer is D. All of these are important factors to keep in mind when deciding if a task should be delegated. Question 2. When considering delegating a task, what criteria should you consider? A. Can I fire them if they fail? B, what is the current workload of this person? C, what training or assistance might they need? Or D, B, and C. Pause your screen. The answer is D. Criteria that should be considered when delegating tasks should be the current workload of that individual, as well as any training or assistance they may need that could draw away from your time. Question 3. What is the first level of the spheres of independence? Is it A, the delegate waits to be told what to do? B, the delegate initiates the action? C, your delegate acts, then reports? Or D, your delegate recommends what should be done? Pause your screen. The answer is A. The first level on the sphere of independence is when the delegate waits to be told what to do. Number 4. Micromanaging is one of the best ways to keep control and stay updated. Is it A, true, or B, false? Pause your screen. The answer is B, false. Micromanaging is not one of the best ways to keep control and stay updated. It just frustrates people. Number 5. Which of these statements about delegation is true? A, there is shame in asking for assistance. B, by delegating effectively, you can only slightly expand the amount of work you can get done and delivered. C, if you delegate well, you can quickly build a strong and successful team of people. D, at first sight, delegation will never feel more like a hassle than it's worth. Pause your screen. The answer is C. The correct statement about delegation is, if you delegate well, you can quickly build a strong and successful team of people. Question 6. Which of these tasks should not be delegated to others? A, time-sensitive projects. B, tasks that have been specifically assigned to you. C, a task that will provide an opportunity for growth. Or D, a meaningful, if challenging, assignment. Pause your screen. B, tasks that have been assigned specifically to you should not be delegated to others. Number 7, what is not something that you need to explain to a delegate? Is it A, every exact step that you would take if you're doing the project yourself? B, the goals that you have for the project? C, what's expected of them during the project? D, all timelines and deadlines. Pause your screen. The answer is A. It is not necessary to explain to the delegate every exact step that you would take if you're doing the project yourself. Number 8. What is the one way to encourage growth in a delegate? Is it A, delegate solutions to others when delegates come to you with a problem? B, ask for recommended solutions when delegates come to you with a problem? C, micromanage as needed? Or D, abdicate control altogether? Pause your screen. The answer is B. One way to encourage growth in a delegate is to ask for recommended solutions when the delegates come to you with a problem. Number 9. What is good advice when you're overseeing and improving your delegates' work? Is it A, even if you accept work that you're not satisfied with, your team member will learn to do the job properly? B, if you accept work that you're not satisfied with, you won't need to complete the project yourself? C, if you accept work and you're satisfied with it, it means that you don't have the time to do your own job properly? Or D, if you accept work that you're not satisfied with, your team member does not learn to do the job properly? Pause your screen. The answer is D. It is important to understand that if you accept work that you're not satisfied with, your team member does not learn to do the job properly. Number 10. When good work is returned to you, what should you do? A, recognize the effort. B, reward the effort. C, take the credit for yourself. Or D, both A and B? Pause your screen. The answer is D. When good work is returned to you, you should recognize and reward the effort. We've reached the end of Module 6, and I'm leaving you with a quote from Jim Rohn. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Welcome to Module 7 of Successful Selling, Time Management. Take control of your most valuable asset. Rituals are powerful in motivating, disciplining, and providing focus for individuals. For most people, the word ritual typically evokes a ceremony or an image of a repetitive life, with every moment controlled and managed, and no room for spontaneity. Rituals and routines, however, can actually help increase the spontaneity and the fun in your life, because routine tasks are already planned, and you have more energy to spend on the things that will bring you closer to your goals and actually bring more joy to your life. A ritual is a practice of behavior that is regularly followed by an individual in a set manner. Rituals are favorable to help you form your daily rhythm and create timely patterns. When your current needs shift, it is important to shift and rebalance your rituals as well. In fact, you can build any kind of ritual in 3 easy steps. First, identify the task. So let's say you want to start to build an exercise ritual. 2, identify the time to do it. For example, perhaps you normally exercise right after work. And 3, identify the subtasks. For you, perhaps your ritual involves going to the gym, getting changed, stretching, doing 45 minutes on the treadmill, performing 3 reps of weights, doing a lap around the pool to finish things off. Then you shower and go home. Remember, a ritual shouldn't be set in stone. Once you've established a ritual, it can be modified at any point in time, depending on what works for you. Rituals play an important role in your daily clockwork. Now, the best way to set yourself up for a day of productivity and success is to adapt to morning rituals. Morning rituals will allow you to begin your day in an organized manner and gain control of time before the hustle of a busy day. When we start the day with a fresh perspective, as well as a positive manner, we are able to secure better focus on what's in front of us and plan accordingly. Not everyone will follow the same morning rituals. It's important to establish which morning rituals work best for you and stick to these rituals. Remember to give yourself enough time in the morning. Never start your day in a rush. Some examples of morning rituals that successfully influence the day ahead include eating a nutritious breakfast, morning meditation, exercise, reading, and sitting down and prioritizing your tasks for the day. Now, similar to how morning rituals will help to secure focus on what's in front of us, nightly rituals will do the same. Nightly rituals should include reflecting on the achievements that you've had from the day and thus provide encouragement for the days to follow. These rituals allow you to decompress, as well as train your brain that it's time to rest. Adequate rest is essential to maintain peak performance and focus levels. Establish a routine for half an hour before you sleep. Here are some examples of nightly rituals that will benefit your sleep schedule and set you up for success. 1. Filling out your productivity journal for the next day. 2. Some light reading. 3. Meditation. 4. Writing in your journal. 5. Taking a warm bath. 6. Enjoy a warm cup of tea. 7. Well, to ensure that your next morning will run smoothly, it's best to organize any work-related material from the night before. And that includes preparing snacks or lunches, or maybe even laying out an outfit. They're actually meaningful. They allow for a sense of control and security and help us to focus on what is most important. Rituals are powerful in conquering recurrent challenges through the day and managing your time. Here are some rituals that many people find helpful in maximizing their time. Take a half hour each weekend to plan the meals for the next week, including lunches and suppers. Then make a grocery list and get everything you need. Appliances like slow cookers or delayed start ovens can also help you make sure supper is ready when you are. Try to exercise for 1 hour 3 times a week or half an hour each day. One easy way is just to go for a brisk walk at lunchtime or do yoga in the morning before you go to work. Instead of checking email, news, and other websites throughout the day, set aside one or several periods, for example, morning, noon, and at the end of the day. Then batch and sequence your activities. For example, email, news, and Facebook. You can batch many types of tasks in this way just for maximum efficiency. Set up a system for maintaining your productivity journal. This can be as simple as 10 minutes in the morning to update the day's list, 10 minutes at noon to update what you've already done, and 10 minutes at the end of the day to evaluate and create a new starting list for tomorrow. You may be surprised that once you've been using a ritual for a little while, you'll find that you have extra bits of time here and there. For example, you may find that by establishing an exercise routine, you finish 5 or 10 minutes earlier because you know exactly what you're going to do at the gym. At the end of the day, you may find that you have a half hour or more of unexpected time. This is where the trigger part of rituals can come into play. Instead of setting a specific time of day, you choose a situation or an event that will cause a ritual to come into play. For example, during a break at work, you read for 10 minutes. Or take 1 minute to do some deep breathing and some stretches. Take 5 minutes to clean off your desk. Take 10 minutes to update your personal productivity journal. Set aside 1 lunch hour a week to do personal errands. Or make a list at the beginning of the week and do 1 a day. Here is your practical illustration for Module 7. Linda found that whenever she had a few minutes at work, she would go check her email, look at Facebook, check out new websites. However, while she planned to only look at these sites for a few minutes, sometimes she would lose track of time, and she needed a way to maximize her time without losing track of time on websites. So, Linda decided to set up several time periods throughout the day when she would check work sites, like her work email and work calendar, and then some personal sites like Facebook and some news sites. She checked them first thing in the morning, at noon, and at the end of the day. And once Linda got into the ritual of checking these sites just 3 times a day, she found that she used her time more wisely and accomplished much more throughout her day. So, as with the other modules, I'm going to read the questions, and at the end of reading the question, please pause your screen, and then when you restart your screen, the answer will be there for you. So, question 1. Which step is not a part of building a good ritual? A. Identify the task. B. Set the task in stone. C. Identify the time and or triggers. D. Identify the subtasks. Pause your screen. The answer is B. Building a good ritual involves identifying the tasks and identifying the time and or the triggers, and identify the subtasks. Question 2. Which of the following is not an example of a good morning ritual? A. Sleeping in as late as possible. B. Exercise. C. Morning meditation. Or D. Eating a nutritious breakfast. Pause your screen. The right answer is A. Sleeping in as possible. Sleeping in as late as possible is not an example of a good morning ritual. Number 3. What is a trigger in regard to setting up a ritual? Is it A. a situation or event, B. exercise, C. thought or idea, or D. a specific time of day? Pause your screen. The answer is A. In regard to setting up a ritual, a trigger is a situation or event. Number 4. What is the definition of a ritual? A. A boring, repetitive life with every moment controlled and managed. B. No room for spontaneity. C. An activity set in stone. Or D. Any practice or pattern of behavior regularly performed in a set manner. Pause your screen. The answer is D. A ritual is any practice or pattern of behavior regularly performed in a set manner. Number 5. What is an example of an easy way to put exercise into your schedule? A. 3 hours of swimming every day. B. Take half an hour to plan exercises for the next week. C. Do yoga in the morning before going to work. D. Exercise for a different length of time on a different day of the week. Pause your screen. The answer is C. An easy way to put exercise into your schedule is to do yoga in the morning before you go to work. Number 6. Which of these is not an example of a ritual that many people find helpful in maximizing their time? A. Check their emails, news, and websites throughout the day. B. Set up a system for maintaining your productivity journal. C. In the morning, perform your tasks in an organized, routine manner. Or D. Lay out your clothes and prepare your lunch the night before for maximum efficiency. Close your screen. The right answer is A. Checking emails and news and websites throughout the day will not be helpful in maximizing your time. Number 7. What is not a good idea to have as part of your sleep ritual? A. Filling out your productivity journal for the next day. B. Vigorous exercise right before sleep. C. Enjoying a cup of tea. D. Taking a warm bath. Pause your screen. The answer is B. Vigorous exercise right before sleep is not a good idea to have as part of your sleep ritual. Number 8. Once you've been using a ritual for a while, what might you find? A. That you have to constantly remind yourself of the ritual. B. That you cannot live your life without things happening at exactly the same time every day. C. That your day becomes repetitive. Or D. That you have bits of extra time here and there. Pause your screen. The right answer is D. Once you've been using a ritual for a little while, you might find that you have extra bits of time here and there. Number 9. Which of these is a good idea for ritualizing meals? A. Appliances like slow cookers and delayed start ovens can also help you make sure your supper is ready when you are. B. Spend your weekend making meals for the week to come. C. Make a grocery list and do a comprehensive shopping trip in several grocery stores. Or D. Take 2 hours each weekend to plan the meals for the next week. Pause your screen. The right answer is A. Appliances like slow cookers and ovens that have a delayed start are good ideas for ritualizing your meals. Number 10. What is not an example of a situation or event that will cause a ritual to come into play? A. Take 10 minutes to update your personal productivity journal. B. Take an hour to do some deep breathing and stretches. C. Take 5 minutes to clean off your desk or some other small work area. D. During a break at home, read for 10 minutes. Pause your screen. The right answer is B. It's best to take 1 minute to do some deep breathing and stretches rather than 1 hour. So here's your quote to end Module 7. I don't know who wrote it, but it always stuck with me. History is written by people who attend the meetings, stay until the end, and keep the minutes. Welcome to Module 8 of Successful Selling, Time Management. Take control of your most valuable asset. Work meetings can sometimes be dull and irrelevant and consuming far too much of your valuable selling time. However, when meetings are properly planned, they can incite a productive, enthusiastic team. Meetings are great for many workplace discussions, such as to solve problems, rehash how other people handled objections, or develop ideas and provide direction. To make this time count during work meetings, you need to follow the right approaches to assemble the ultimate meeting. The first thing you need to decide is if a formal meeting is really necessary. Perhaps those morning meetings could be reduced to twice a week instead of every day. Or maybe they could take place over morning coffee and be more informal. To determine if a meeting is actually necessary, here are some important questions to consider. What is the clear goal or deliverables to this meeting? Does the topic require outside input for development? Does this topic entail a face-to-face conversation? And if so, who should be included in this conversation? And last, will this meeting make valuable use of the time for everyone concerned? Using the PAT approach, PAT approach, to prepare and schedule is a great tool for the most effective meeting management. All meetings should have a purpose, agenda, and time frame. Purpose. What is the purpose of the meeting? This should be stated in one short sentence. For example, this meeting is to review the new invoice signing policy. This helps people to evaluate if they need to be there. It will also help you build the agenda and determine if the meeting was successful. Agenda. This is the backbone of the meeting. It should be created well in advance of the meeting, sent to all participants and observers, and used during the meeting to keep things on track. Time frame. How long will this meeting be? Typically, meetings should not exceed 1 hour. If the meeting needs to be longer, make sure you include breaks or divide it into 2 or more sessions. Before your meeting, make a list of what needs to be discussed, how long you believe it will take, and the person who will be presenting the meeting. Once the agenda is complete, send it to all participants and observers, preferably with the meeting request, and preferably 2 or 3 days before the meeting. Make sure you ask for everyone's approval, including additions or deletions. If you do make changes, send out a single updated copy the day before the meeting. Now, before the meeting starts, post the agenda on a flip chart, a whiteboard, or a PowerPoint slide. Spend the first 5 minutes of the meeting going over the agenda and getting everybody to approve. During the meeting, take minutes with the agenda as a framework. Although this informal structure will be sufficient for most meetings, more formal meetings may require more formal minutes. Your job is, as the chairperson, as the presenter, is to keep the meeting running according to the agenda. If an item runs past its scheduled time, ask the group if they think more time is needed to discuss that particular item. If so, how do they want to handle it? They can reduce the time for other items, remove other items altogether to another time, schedule an offline meeting, or have someone else do another meeting. No matter what the group agrees to, make sure that they stick to their decision. At the end of the meeting, get agreement that all the items on the agenda were sufficiently covered, and this will identify any gaps that may require follow-up. It also gives people a positive sense of accomplishment about the meeting. So, to ensure a successful close to a meeting, it is best to touch base and track the progress. After the meeting, send out a summary of the meeting to everyone that includes action items. Action items should be clearly indicated with start and end dates and progress dates if applicable. If follow-up meetings were scheduled, these should also be communicated. It is beneficial to seek feedback after a meeting. Ask your participants whether they found the meeting valuable or what could be improved. This feedback is useful to prepare for future meetings. This is the practical illustration for Module 8. Gemma glanced at the clock on the wall in the meeting room. It was 9:20. She was the chairperson of the meeting, and it appeared that they were about to go over the time allotted for discussing one of the agenda items. So she stopped and she addressed the attendees. While this is an eye-opening discussion we're having about the pros and cons of suggestive selling, we are about to run over time for this agenda item. Should we end the discussion and move on? Should we continue with the discussion and reduce time for other items? Or would you rather schedule an offline follow-up session? What does everyone think? After the participants shared their preferences, it was agreed that they would continue the discussion for 5 more minutes and reduce the time spent on another topic. This gave deciding power to the participants and kept the meeting on track. As with the other modules, please pause your screen after the question has been read, and when you restart, the answer will be there. Question 1. Using the PAT approach is great for meeting management. What does PAT stand for? A. Past approach tracking. B. People alternate task. C. Postpone again today. Or D. Purpose, agenda, and time frame. Pause your screen. The correct answer is D. PAT stands for purpose, agenda, and time frame. Question 2. When creating an agenda, it is best to hand it out at the beginning of the meeting. A. True. B. False. Pause your screen. The correct answer is B. The agenda should be handed out approximately 2 to 3 days before the meeting. Question 3. What should you do if an item runs past its scheduled time? A. Ask the group what they want to do. B. Skip it and move to the next item. C. Finish it and extend the meeting. Or D. Remove the next item from the agenda. Pause your screen. The answer is A. If you're running past the scheduled time, it is best to ask the group what they want to do. Number 4. Action items should be clearly indicated with start and end dates. A. True. B. False. Pause your screen. The correct answer is A. Action items on the summary should be clearly indicated with start and end dates. Number 5. What is the reason that people generally do not look forward to meetings? Is it A. Meetings are always held early in the morning. B. Too many meetings lack purpose and structure. C. Too many meetings bring together co-workers and this creates conflict. D. Meetings are held daily and become repetitive. Pause your screen. The correct answer is B. People generally do not look forward to meetings because there are too many meetings that lack purpose and structure. Number 6. How should you spend the first 5 minutes of a meeting? Well, A. Waiting for any stragglers. B. Answering any questions. C. Open, casual discussion. Or D. Going over the agenda and getting approval. Pause your screen. The correct answer is D. The first 5 minutes of a meeting should be spent going over the agenda and getting approval. Number 7. In the PAT approach, which step is described as the backbone of the meeting? Is it A. Agenda, B. Approach, C. Purpose, or D. Time frame? Pause your screen. The correct answer is A. In the PAT approach, the agenda is described as the backbone of the meeting. So, number 8. Typically, how long should a meeting be? A. They should exceed 1 hour. B. They should not exceed 2 hours. C. They should not exceed 1 hour. And D. They should not exceed 30 minutes. Pause your screen. The correct answer is C. Meetings should not exceed 1 hour. Number 9. What is your job as the chairperson of the meeting? A. To take minutes. B. To keep the meeting running according to the agenda. C. To ensure that all participants are in attendance. Or D. To supervise participants' behavior during the meeting. Pause your screen. The correct answer is B. Your job as the chairperson of the meeting is to keep the meeting running according to the agenda. Number 10. What is an action to take at the end of a meeting? A. Get agreement that all items on the agenda were sufficiently covered. B. Decide if a formal meeting is necessary. C. Make a list of what needs to be discussed, how long you believe it'll take, and the person who will be presenting the item. Or D. Make sure you ask for everyone's approval, including additions or deletions. Pause your screen. The proper answer is A. At the end of the meeting, you should get agreement that all the items on the agenda were sufficiently covered. We've ended the Module 8 session, and we're leaving it once again with a quote. This one's from John F. Kennedy. In a crisis, be aware of the danger, but recognize the opportunity. Welcome to Module 9 of Successful Selling, Time Management. Take control of your most valuable asset. We all know that change is inevitable. Despite great planning and prioritization, unexpected barriers or interruptions may still arise that demand our attention and hinder our workplace success. Sometimes life events are out of our control, or piles of work can sneak up on us all at once. Although it can be hard to prepare for disruptive situations, it's helpful to reflect on what you can do throughout that moment to effectively gain back your time. Generally speaking, when we schedule our days, we are estimating the amount of time it takes to complete a task. It is valuable to take into consideration that things may not always run smoothly and tasks can become unexpectedly long. Perhaps this particular task is new to the curriculum and you're uncertain of an approximate time frame. It's important not to let these situations become overwhelming and interfere with your overall productivity. When this happens, stop what you're doing and regather your thoughts. It is much more beneficial to take a break from that task, add it to your list of priorities, and reprocess it at a later time. To refrain from the ramifications of an unexpectedly long task, it can be helpful to consider the following factors when you're preparing your schedule. Prepare a buffer space in your schedule. For recurring tasks, consider using a timer. This will allow you to get a better idea when estimating your time, or at least watch the clock. It is better to overestimate a time for a task rather than underestimate a time. Now, occasionally you can be on top of your game at work, but still be held up due to the inefficiency of others. This can include sharing a project with a coworker or having delegated a task. It is important to be understanding that many individuals struggle with time management practices. It can be really frustrating to put in a lot of effort and not receive the same amount of effort back from others. Inefficient employees or coworkers must be informed that they are harming productivity and they need to get back on track. Not only will this inefficiency damage the company, lose sales, but it could potentially cost that employee their job. The best thing you can do is set a clear example of good time management. The more they see the example you are setting, the more likely they are to shift their habits. As well, there are supporting measures that can be used to help an individual stay focused on their assignment, such as providing reminders, giving the individual a clear deadline, and following up with that individual to answer any questions. We've talked about productivity rhythms in a previous module. Your productivity rhythm will not always remain the same. Life events such as sickness or death or marriages or babies will impact your ability to complete work within a specific time frame, or even at the same performance level that you're used to. Employees, salespeople, can feel buried in their work, and tasks can become overloaded. With these moments, it's critical to slow down, catch your breath, process this life event, and then reassess your schedule. Consider your prioritized tasks with their deadlines. The best way to maintain effective time management is to communicate to your team about these life challenges and delegate or decline opportunities. It's good to have a contingency plan put in place, one that indicates Who's responsible for general responsibilities if you are absent for an extended period of time? If possible, you can reschedule extra catch-up time to preserve productivity. Remember, if you're overwhelmed, it's difficult to get any work done. One of my favorite subjects to talk about is the fear of failure or the fear of success. Here we're going to talk about failing. When employees feel failure when they're working on a task, well, they're going to delay it, and it'll get procrastination sets in. Along with consuming your valuable time, continuing this procrastination will only increase the chances of actually failing. Employees may experience a fear of failure for many reasons, including a lack of direction, past failures, or low confidence, low self-esteem. Managing your fears is a beneficial way to help you manage your time. The following tips the following tips to overcome the fear of failure and help you win back your time are: confront your fear and what your fear is, and consider what you need to do to manage it. Visualize yourself achieving your objective. Take small steps to complete the task, and this is going to help in boosting your confidence as well as reducing your fear of failure. Now, a positive mindset is what determines your productivity. When challenging work situations arise, you have the choice of feeling defeated or staying positive and on track with your goals. A positive attitude will help you to solve your problems rather than waste time on problems. Attitude can be just as important as a strong work ethic. It's a great technique to use positive affirmations in regard to your time management. Positive affirmations are enthusiastic statements that influence your subconscious mind. For example, stating, "I am great at time management. I use my time effectively." Repeating that will alter your way of thinking and encourage you to sustain good time management. When you focus on a positive mindset, you will see positive changes. Here's your Module 8 practical illustration. Karen was a floor manager of a large paper company. One winter morning, Karen woke up to find out she had the flu. She had to call in sick, but in the meantime, all the duties of the floor manager would fall to the wayside. Luckily, Karen had a plan put in place that would make sure that all of her responsibilities were taken care of. She also made sure that all of the proper people were informed and that everyone was aware of their responsibilities. When Karen was recovered from the flu and able to get back to work, she returned to work with the knowledge that everything ran smoothly in her absence, all because she was prepared. These are the Module 9 review questions. As before, once I finished reading the questions, please pause your screen, select the right question for you, and then when you restart the screen, the answer will be there. So, question number 1. As long as you schedule and prioritize, things will always go as planned. A, true. B, false. Pause your screen. B, despite great planning, great prioritization, unexpected barriers or interruptions can still arise that demand our attention. So the answer was B. Question 2. What should you do when you are going overtime on an unexpectedly long task? A, keep rushing to get it done. B, ask someone else to finish the task. C, take a break and reprocess the task at a later time. Or D, just give up on the task. Pause your screen. The right answer is C. It is beneficial to take a break from that task, add it to your list of priorities, and reprocess it later. Number 3, what is a factor to consider when preparing your schedule? A, it is better to underestimate your time. B, it is best to avoid a schedule altogether. C, make each task exactly 1 hour. Or D, include a buffer space in your schedule. Pause your screen. The right answer is D. It is good to include buffer space in your schedule. 4. What can you do to ensure others are staying focused on their assignments? A, provide reminders. B. Be available to answer any questions. C. Give the individual a clear deadline. Or D. All of the above. Pause your screen. The answer is D. These are all supporting measures that will help others stay focused on their assignments. Number 5. What should a contingency plan include? A. Who is responsible for general responsibilities if you are absent for an extended period of time? B. When you will return back to work? C. Contingency plans aren't necessary. Or D. None of the above. Pause your screen. The answer is A. A contingency plan should include who is responsible for general responsibilities if you are absent for an extended period of time. What is a common barrier to success? A. Teamwork. B. Lunch breaks. C. Buffer space. D. Fear of failure. Pause your screen. The answer is D. The fear of failure is a common barrier to success. Question 7. Why may an individual fear failure? A. Past failures. B. Lack of direction. C. Low self-confidence. Or D. All of the above. Pause your screen. The correct answer is D. These are all reasons why an individual may fear failure. Question 8. How can you overcome your fear and win back your time? Is it A. Ignore your fears. B. Visualize yourself achieving your objective. C. It is impossible to overcome fear. Or D. Delegate the task to somebody else. Pause your screen. The answer is B. To overcome your fear and win back your time, it is best to visualize yourself achieving your objective. Number 9. A positive mindset is what determines your productivity. Is it A. True or B. False? Pause your screen. The answer is A. True. A positive mindset is what determines your productivity. Number 10. What is an example of a positive affirmation? Is it A. I sometimes submit my work on time. B. There's just no way I can complete this on time. C. I will try not to procrastinate on this task. D. I use my time effectively. Pause your screen. The answer is D. An example of positive affirmation is, I use my time effectively. So, we've reached the end of Module 9. I've got my favorite quote here from Zig Ziglar, and I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed with Zig Ziglar. He's one of my favorite sales coaches. He said, a lack of direction, not a lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24-hour days. Welcome to Module 10, Successful Selling Time Management. Take control of your most valuable asset. You already know that time is limited. To be successful, it is imperative to respect and value the time you have. Practicing time management skills is the solution to help you stay on top of your game and control your time. Without it, both work performance and well-being decline. Everyone has the potential to develop habits of good time management and seek growth from carrying out these habits into their daily lives. Time management has many great advantages that will allow you to accomplish more in your life. As a salesperson and as an employee, you have expectations on your level of performance and standard of work. Strong performances are critical to building a prosperous company. It's evident that our minds will work best when we're not bouncing back and forth between tasks. Planning and prioritizing your time gives you full focus, while allowing for enough time and thought to be put into an assignment. Time management eliminates procrastination and distractions that hinders a salesperson's quality of work and end results. Confidence is the key to success. When you learn how to properly manage your time, you will notice a major difference in your self-confidence. as well as your overall happiness in the workplace. Time management will significantly boost one's confidence and feelings of accomplishment by increasing productivity, reducing frequent mistakes, and accomplishing great goals. A continuous cycle exists between productivity and confidence. Productivity will improve your confidence, and then confidence will improve your productivity. It all starts with believing in your goals and your ability to succeed. Time management gives you clear direction when you have an abundance of work. It puts you in control over your schedule of what you want to do and when you want to do it. Without this kind of control and direction, it's common to experience feelings of stress and defeat. Not only does excess stress impact your health, both physically and mentally, but will also impact your ability to work efficiently. Proper time management practices incorporate adequate breaks from your workload, ensuring time to recharge and de-stress. As well, you are less likely to leave tasks to the last minute to complete, and you're going to feel less rushed with deadlines. With good, solid time management strategies, you can avoid the weight of an excess workload by prioritizing, delegating, or simply declining irrelevant tasks. Good time management skills are desirable at any company. Employers look for salespeople who are dependable and submit high-quality work, good volume of sales, on time. Time management allows you to accomplish more in your role as well as achieve bigger and better results. By arriving to work well-rested and organized to conquer the day, you are able to confidently make sound decisions that impact your career proficiency. As a result, this can lead to a greater reputation, especially among the potential with, more promotional opportunities. When everyone is on board with applying effective time management habits, effective teamwork will follow. Employees will be more likely to communicate in a respectful manner, which lessens the chances of argument and misunderstanding. Time management helps everyone to stay on track and work together, whether this is delegating tasks to meet deadlines or discussing goals over a coffee break. With good time management, everyone wins. This is Module 10's practical illustration. Will was dreading returning to work after his holiday vacation. He always felt stressed and overwhelmed, and he knew he had to make some changes. He decided to make it his resolution to incorporate good time management habits into his routine to seek positive changes in his workplace. He signed up for an online calendar, decluttered his desk, and started to prioritize his tasks. After the very first few weeks, he noticed positive changes. He was feeling more confident. He was less stressed. Will was learning to submit his work early so that he didn't have to worry about rushing and providing poor quality work. His boss, Clinton, noticed the change in his attitude as well as outstanding performances. Clinton decided that Will was a great fit for a promotion. Welcome to Module 10's review questions. As before, I'm going to read the question, give you your options, and I'm going to ask you to pause your page, choose the right answer, and then you'll hear the correct answer when you restart your screen. So, question 1. Practicing time management skills is the solution to help you stay on top of your game and control your time. Is that A, true, or B, false? Pause your screen. The correct answer is A, true. Practicing time management skills is indeed the solution to help you stay on top of your game. Question 2. Who has the potential to develop habits of good time management? Is it A, managers, B, accountants, C, remote workers, D, everyone? Pause your screen. The correct answer is D. Everyone has the potential. Question 3. When do our minds work best? Is it A, when we are focusing on multiple tasks at once? B, when we are not bouncing back and forth between tasks? C, early in the morning? Or D, late in the afternoon? Pause your screen. The answer is B. Our minds work best when we are not bouncing back and forth between tasks. Number 4, time management eliminates blank and blank that hinder an employee's quality of work. Is it A, control and concentration? B, collaboration and conversation? C, hard work and focus? D, procrastination and distractions? Pause your screen. The correct answer is D. Time management eliminates procrastination and distractions that hinder someone's quality of work. Question 5. Blank is the key to success. Is it A, multitasking? B, working overtime? C, skipping lunch to complete the work? Or D, confidence? Pause your screen. The answer is D. Confidence is the key to success. Question 6. What is the connection between confidence and productivity? Is it A, productivity will improve confidence? B, confidence will improve productivity? C, productivity will decrease confidence? Or D, both A and B? Pause your screen. The answer is D. There is a continuous cycle that exists between productivity and confidence. Productivity will improve confidence, and confidence will improve your productivity. Question 7. How does time management help to decrease stress? Is it A, it gives individuals control? B, it gives individuals direction? C, it ensures time to recharge? Or D, all of the above? Pause your screen. The correct answer is D. Time management will decrease your stress by giving you control and direction while allowing time to recharge. Number 8. How does good time management influence teamwork? Is it A, increases the chances of miscommunication? B, effective teamwork will follow effective time management habits? C, there is likely to be more arguments? Or D, it will decrease collaboration? Pause your screen. The answer is B. When everyone is on board with applying effective time management habits, effective teamwork will always follow. Number 9. Good time management skills are desirable for only certain companies. Is it A, true, or B, false? Pause your screen. The answer is false. Good time management skills are desirable for any company. Number 10. What will increase your potential for promotional opportunities? Is it A, the ability to multitask? B, procrastination? C, always saying yes when given requests? Or D, submitting high quality work on time? Pause your screen. The answer is D. Submitting high quality work on time will increase your potential for promotional opportunities. We're wrapping up Module 10 here, and although this workshop is coming to a close, I really hope that your journey to improve your time management skills is just beginning. I wish you the best of luck on the rest of your travels. First off, let me congratulate you on completing this course. I'm really proud of you that you've come this far. I'm leaving you with some words from the wise. These are 4 of my favorite quotes, and you'll notice that one of them is from my father. Good luck. Congratulations.